So, you ever have any of those stories that you remember forever about meeting someone for the first time? I have a few of those. Let's kick it off with this first one right now. What's going on, everyone? Cody here, and this is another story time with Cody, episode 2. I got a lot of good feedback from my personal friends for the first episode, so I figured this is going to be a thing now. So this story and the next few stories are actually going to be about me meeting people that I've known for a while. For the first time, I'm talking about NWS group members. And then if you guys want, I could go into how I met some of my other friends and our journey through the years and all that. I can do that if you guys want. First guy I'm going to talk about is the first guy I met from the NWS group. That being Jack Harvey. So if you do or do not know, Jack will be here again on July 13th. We'll be doing a vlog every day for our channels. Hopefully. I know I did like 5 or 7 days last time. I'm going to do it the entire 15 days this time because it's going to be good. Okay, so how this all began was where I really think it became possible was one night me and Jack were just talking on Skype and we both kind of felt down. And so we were both quiet to the point where we were just typing, and I typed him I was typing to him and I typed some personal stuff to him because I'm like, what's the worst you gonna do? Throw it in my face. Because I felt like I could talk to him and all that. We'd gotten along by this point. Before that, I was seen as an egotistical bitch by him. Because when I first came into the Shooters channel, I was kind of a dick and I didn't want storylines on the Wrestling Shooters channel. He made the Revolution channel. I'm like, dude, that's brilliant. I will be in there with you. And I've said this from day one, the guy saved the NWS. If it wasn't for him, that wouldn't be alive today. And I appreciate that. So we had got to talking. We had talked about some personal stuff, and I found out I could relate to this guy a lot. And that's when I got close to him. That's when I really felt like we became brothers on that particular night. It was, I'm pretty sure I was on spring break of my junior year by this point, and I don't know, I think I was going through one of my ups and downs deal, but that's beside the point. Not too long after that, we had started talking, and I'm like, I don't know who made the joke again, but one of us made something like, you know, it'd be cool, and the other one's like, what, if you came down to Texas or whatever. And we started laughing about it, and then we stayed silent for a little bit, and he's like, sure. And I'm like, come again? He's like, sure. I'm like, you actually want to do this? He's like, yeah. I'm like, you really want to do this? And I couldn't believe, I was like, this guy lives all the way in Scotland, and he's just saying yes, like he could come over on a regular weekday or something like that. It blows my mind. I'm just like, and I'm like, I think I left because I'm like, I had to go to bed or something like that. It still just blew my mind now. And so a couple days later, or a couple weeks later, we had talked about it again a little bit, and I'm just like, no, I brought it up this time. I'm like, okay, so you remember when we talked about when, you coming down to Texas? He's like, yeah. I'm like, do you actually want to make that happen? He's like, yeah. I'm like, if you want to, I could talk to my parents about it. And he said, go for it. I did, and he ended up buying the tickets. And his mom wanted to talk to my mom and everything. And after that, we had planned this like a couple months ahead. And just the waiting and everything, I told him, like, okay, well, here's what you can expect. You can expect hot weather because it's July, it's summer, of course, it's going to be hot as fuck. I mean, he's like, mosquitoes, wasps. I'm like, there are those down here. There's not really a whole lot at my house. I'm like, there's not any wasps at my house. Not really any mosquitoes out a whole lot during the summer. I'm like, they're there, though. Just as long as we're not outside a whole lot during the nighttime, unless we have to be, then we'll be good to go. And, and I remember he was whining about the weather, and I'm just like, you'll be fine. I'm like, do you want this to happen? And he's like, yes. I'm like, you'll be fine. And I remember the night before, we had just gotten done, like the night before he left. Well, no, actually, technically, the morning, his time, that he left. Because we were doing a video or an impact review or something like that of the sort. And we were talking, I'm like, I'm talking to you until you leave. I'm like, you can't stop me from doing that. And he's like, I'm not going to stop you. And originally it was going to be for 1 week. Of course, that ended up getting extended to 2 weeks. Because coming all the way from Scotland just to stay for a week, with that distance, it's a bit, you know, it's a lot of travel, dude. Honestly, it is. And we talked, and Scott was there, and I think a couple of others were there. No, I think when it all was all said and done, it was me, Scott, and Jack. And his mom came in, and I remember her saying, okay, we gotta pack up. And I'm just like, in my head, I'm like, oh my god, this is happening. And I talked to Scott for a while after Jack had left, and I'm just like, dude, I'm excited. I'm like, I am excited for this. And I woke up the next day, because I think I had to pick him up. What time did I pick him up? What time did I pick him up? I forgot. It was sometime during the day the next day. And I remember recording at the airport. Legally, or maybe not illegally. I don't know. I don't know the laws, okay? Don't judge me. And I was waiting. We waited for, I think, an hour. We waited for an hour for him to come through. And I'm just like, crap, where is he? And I was getting ready to record it. I got a message from Jack. I'm just like, he's here. Wait, he's here. It was a voice note. He's like, yeah, I'm here. And I'm like, oh my fucking god. I was like, Mom, he's here. He's here. And then he walked through the door, and I'm like, and I'm just like, what the fuck? I'm just like, this is happening. Someone from Scotland is here with me after knowing him for, let's see, met him in late November, early December, or something like that. So 6 or 7 months. And I talked to my parents. My dad was a little unsure about it because, he's 23 and all that. He was 23 at the time. And eventually he's like, alright. He's like, okay. And I'm just like, Dad, if he pulls anything, we know what to do. But it went good. So that was how I met Jack for the first time. Actually, let me go ahead and actually talk about the other NWS members as well. So that was Jack. Met Jack for the first time. Boom. Done. Out of the way. Next story. So the next story is Noah Watts. This was unexpected for me because I got a call from him and I'm like, what's up? He's like, I've got some news for you. And I'm like, I'm interested. He's like, so, I'm going somewhere. And I'm like, cool, where are you going? He's like, I'm going to Texas. And I'm like, really now? He's like, yeah. He's like, my family wanted to go to Texas. He's like, oh yeah, Saturday, we're picking you up. And I'm like, wait, what? He's like, yeah, I'm meeting you on Sunday. And I'm just like, wait. I was like, wait, what are we doing? You know what we're doing? And I'm like, what? He's like, and keep in mind, we obviously had adults there. We had his parents there. His sister was there. His sister's boyfriend was there. Be fine. We went to Billy Bob's. Jesse. And I'm like, and your parents agree to this? And they're like, he's like, yep. They agreed. And I'm just like, I'm down. Because I had nothing planned that Saturday. I was like, dude, let's do it. He's like, alright. And I remember, like, with that, it was like a week or two, I think. Maybe a little bit longer, maybe a little bit less. I don't remember exactly. But I remember him sending me the picture saying, I'm in Texas. And I was like, fuck. I'm like, one of my bros is around me. One of my brothers is around me, man. And I'm like, dude, Saturday needs to hurry up. And then Saturday came, and I woke up, I'm like, it's here. It's here. I'm like, this is the day. I'm like, oh boy, time to get in the same emotions I do when I met Jack a couple months earlier. Keep that in mind. And I remember him calling me because he's like, hey, where's your fucking address? And I'm just like, okay, here's my address. And we took a little bit of difficulties, and he's like, okay, I'm in front of a store. I'm like, okay, see a little bridge? And he's like, yeah. I'm like, go in there, and you'll see a red truck and a white truck. That is my house. And eventually he got there, and I remember, I'm just like, oh my god. And I'm almost like, hey, someone's here to see you. And I'm just like, I think I know. And I remember him wearing the Seth Rollins shirt. I'm just like, you're tall. I'm like, and I remember him being a little bit taller than me. I'm like, you're taller than me. And like, I remember he was acting like he was kicking me to get first started. We friggin' did a friggin' bro hug and all that. I'm just like, oh, yes. And I remember I was just like, because we had planned to film something. And I'm just like, because we were in a rush because his parents were like, okay, we're going to go pick him up quickly and then we're going to go to Billy Bob's. And Noah, like, we need to film something. And then we're just like, yeah, run. Camera, phone, setup check, title belt check, all this stuff. All that. Record that in a second before we went to Billy Bob's. And the feeling just, and he told me the feeling, and I'm like, dude, the feeling's mutual. Like, we were just sitting there in the truck, or the SUV, I think. It was an SUV, I think it was an SUV. No. It was a car. It was a car or some sorts. But anyway. And he told me, like, afterwards, he's just like, I remember just sitting in the car, looking beside me. I'm just like, and he's like, he was thinking in his mind, he's like, I'm actually sitting next to Cody. And I told him, like, dude, how do you think I felt? I'm like, I kept looking over. From experience, I kept looking over. I'm just like, that's Noah Watts in the flesh, right next to me, right now. What is life? What is life? And I'm just like, the fact that all this is possible, I'm just like, how we made this happen, I have no clue. We had a great time at Billy Bob's. We freaking had to take a picture because his mom wanted to take a picture. we went to see horseback riding stuff. We played pool. I suck ass at pool because I don't play pool. We just had a good old time over there. I didn't get back till like 11, I think, at night. And I remember getting out of the car when I got home. I'm just like, no, it can't be over. It can't be over. I know, I was just like, I know, I don't want it to be over. Then he left. I'm just like, ugh. I was like, I'm tired, but I'm like, I don't want it to end, no. But all good things had to come to an end. But they would not be the last time. As in, we're getting to the next story, I might as well talk a little bit about something called, what am I looking at? What am I thinking of? Oh! Actually, wait. This would be better to show. WrestleMania. And the reason I'm talking about that is because I met someone, actually, a couple people, while this journey was doing. Next story, right now. Alright, and the final little story I'm going to tell you in this whole thing is how I met the man, the legend, the guy that made the whole NWS possible, Scott Casey Gale, Will Ferrell #1. Now, how this all came together. This was 6 months planned. 6 months planned. Altogether, this was 6 months planned. All this began 6 months ahead of time because we found out that Mania was going to be in Dallas. I'm like, oh my god, Mania's in Dallas. I'm like, I want to go. I'm like, oh, I gotta save money, And I was talking to Jack. I'm like, fuck, I want to save money. He's like, don't worry. I'm like, what? He's like, I'll buy the Mania tickets. I'm like, you'll seriously do that for me? He's like, yeah. And we were talking to Noah, and it was a 3-way call. It was me, Jack, and Noah. And we all 3 were talking about Mania. And I'm just like, I want to fucking go. And Noah's like, yeah, I want to go. And Jack's like, let's go. I'm like, okay, well, we need to save up money and friggin' buy our tickets and everything. I think either we suggested it to Jack or Jack offered, one of the two. No, we made a plan. That's right, we made a plan. I'm just like, okay, got a plan. I'm like, let's divide and conquer. And they're like, what do you mean? I'm like, okay, one person buys the Mania tickets, one person gets the Raw tickets, one person gets Access tickets. Obviously, Access didn't happen. We'll get to that in a second. And I'm just like, I can handle the Raw tickets. I'm like, Jack, can you get the Mania tickets? He's like, yeah. And I'm like, Noah, get Access tickets or NXT tickets if possible. He's like, yeah, okay, I'll get friggin' Access tickets. Okay. So I got Raw tickets, Jack got Mania tickets. We were all set. We were just waiting for Noah. And around that time, we were thinking, we're like, when did we have Revolution Mania set up? Because we were doing like our big WrestleMania for the NWS. It was just like, we haven't done one. And we were still doing the storyline thing for the NWS Revolution, all fully good before the merger. And I'm just like, we could film this. And then they're just like, let's do it. I was like, let's go. So, as you've seen on the NWS Revolution channel, go check that out if you have not yet. We worked our asses off on that, okay? We worked our asses off. Jack worked the hardest. He had like, 6 matches, 7 matches in the whole match recordings that we had. I had about 3 or 4. And we're just like, we're gonna make this all possible. He's like, we're gonna do all this and all that. We talked about this with Scott. And I don't know how it came about, but Scott's like, hey, guess what? I'm like, what? He's like, I'm gonna be in Texas in my Mania town. I'm like, what? And I'm just like, we've got to plan something. And lo and behold, an opportunity came to us. I found out from sources that a certain cult family leader was going to be in Irving, Texas. Irving, Texas! And I'm just like, what? And I'm like, okay, it's going to be on Friday. That'll be when Jack and Noah will already be here because they already had their flights ready to go by the time I found this out. Well, I think Jack had his flight and the tickets before me and Noah got our shit ready. And I'm just like, fuck, you're ready. And I eventually got the Raw tickets. I'm like, we're good to go. We're gonna be at kind of the very top, but we'll be good to go. And they're like, we're at Raw after Mania. They have to do it. I'm just like, cool. And we had found out about the Irving, Texas thing beforehand. And I told Scott, I'm like, let's plan something for that. And he's like, okay. I'm like, you're going to be with what family? He said his uncle. I'm like, okay. Ask your uncle if on Friday he could take you to the Irving Mall and so you could see us. And at that point, like, I found out about it. I was talking about for Xavier. I did a little bit of a bad thing. I got out of class early because of that. Because Jack and Noah and my mom came up to eat lunch with me. And I'm just like, yeah, Bray Wyatt's going to be there today. And I'm like, I was thinking in my mind, I'm like, if I don't get there soon, there's going to be a line and I'm not going to be able to meet him. I'm like, you know what? My mom was like, you could leave if you want. We could sign you on, whatever. Or you could stay. I'm just like, at first I was like, I would stay. But then I thought about it. I'm like, yeah, we're leaving. I'm leaving. And I told my teacher, I remember my friend like, no. I'm like, sorry, I gotta bounce. And he's like, okay, wait, you gotta do this work, blah, blah, blah. Moving on. Went to the Irving Mall, waited in the line, found out that we had to get wristbands. The way to get wristbands to buy $20 worth of merchandise, aka a t-shirt practically over there. Both did that. Even though it came out to 32 something, I paid the guy a $20 bill. He's like, don't worry, buddy, you got a $20 bill, you paid it. I could give you a wristband. And I'm just like, fucking awesome. I'm like, we were waiting in line with these guys. Really cool dudes. Really cool dudes. We talked about wrestling, all kinds of stuff. We talked about what might happen to Mania, what could and could not happen, don't know for sure. And then we were waiting for Scott, and he wanted to get people's reactions. Hey, Minor, Mitch, you're going to want to hear this part. So, someone, I think it was Jack, that got the message from Scott saying he's here. And I'm like, oh my god. I'm like, oh my god, this is about to happen. And friggin', it took me a little bit, and I saw Jack run. I'm like, where are you going? And I see a giant guy, like real tall, like 5'11" tall. And it was Scott. I'm like, I froze. I'm just like, out of all the people I've met, this is the most satisfying. Like, this probably has to be the most satisfying. I froze for a sec. I felt myself itching towards. You could see me in my Mania recording. I'm like, surprise. Because that's all I can say. I'm like, surprise. And I hugged Scott. I was like, surprise. And I was like, oh my god. And we all ended up waiting in line. And lo and behold, we met the one and only Bray Wyatt, who at the time I believe was injured or something, or I don't know what was up with him, but he was there in Irving of all places. We all took a picture, we all did this sign. I fucked it up. I was like, Jack had his hand there, I had my hand there, or like the other way. That was like this. I was nervous because that was my first WWE superstar I've actually met and talked to. We talked about NXT. We talked about Mania just a little bit. I was like, oh my god. I'm like, this guy's awesome. I'm like, and honestly, he was already like one of my favorites. That boosted him up like top 5 for me. We met him. Then we had to leave early. That was my only regret. We left early. I'm just like, because my phone was dying. I'm like, fuck, I need my phone. I'm like, I'll have to call my mom. So I called my mom. I'm just like, yeah, come pick us up. My phone's dying and everything. I was sad when I left because I'm like, fuck, I wanted to spend more time. But everyone's phone was dying, I think. I'm just like, fuck. I'm like, we're going to have to go. And then, well, that's how the story I met Scott. We just had it planned out 6 months beforehand. Oh, Oh, I forgot. I mentioned a couple people in this. We had gotten Michael Miner's reaction. Go check it out on Noah's channel. And we also got Midge's reaction. We didn't get Midge's reaction on camera, but I can reenact it right here. His reaction, I was like, hi. Or, no, I was like, hi to Miner, and then I showed him Scott. He's like, Scott, what are you, And Midge, his reaction was like, no fucking way. He's like, what the fuck? He's like, Scott, you duped me, man. You duped me. And since I'm already on the topic of that was just great. We didn't get Ian's live reaction to Scott meeting Scott, but we did get his reaction because that little boy. Yeah, I'm calling you a little boy, bitch. What you gonna do? He made a bet that said we weren't gonna all meet up in person and all that stuff. Guess what? We planned out. We got our shit together for Mania. It happened. It happened. And his reaction was priceless. You can go check that out on Cultivate 14's channel, his WrestleMania vlog. And since I'm already like 3/4 of the way done through the Mania story, I'll go ahead and finish that. And then I will end this here because it's a long ass video. Longer than my ex video, I believe. So we had woken up the day of Mania. I remember grabbing my IC title. I'm just like, dude, we're gonna fucking do this. I'm like, okay, I'm gonna grab my leather jacket because I'm gonna be Ambrose. I'm gonna be fucking, I don't know who the fuck I was gonna be. I'm like, okay, I got my Randy Savage shirt. I'm like, Randy Savage. And I grabbed my belt. I was like, let's go. So I was Ambrose, Randy Savage. Yeah. Obviously, friggin', we had a great time at Mania. Despite what people say about Mania 32 being bad, it wasn't necessarily quote-unquote bad. It was the fact that the matches were good, except for the main event, but the endings were backwards. It was like, you expected Styles to win, but then Jericho won. You're just like, what? Why? You expected Dean to win and make it all brutal and everything, and you get Brock Lesnar winning with a butter suplex. It's like, what? And then Taker winning when you thought Shane was going to win, and that's going to be Taker's matchup. But like, last matchup, like, what the? All this is backwards. Obviously, the main event, we couldn't get backwards or else Swerve. Although it really wouldn't surprise me because a lot of the endings were backwards. I'm probably getting all the fucking matches wrong. Zack Ryder winning the IC title. What? League of Nations beating New Day. Fuck. But then Austin, Michaels, and Mick Foley came up. Mania was great. Great experience. Had a little bit of trouble fighting my dad to go home. Raw. Let's talk about Raw. Raw was great. Being a part of the Raw after Mania, chanting all this stuff. Might not have felt as crazy as the other Manias, but heck, you know what? I was chanting random shit, so I'm just like, I'm happy at home. And one thing I did get, I will show you just a sec. I'm gonna just snap my fingers. I'm gonna have the shirt on randomly. 3, 2, 1. Oh, there we go. Got the shirt on. You don't know what shirt this is? This is the AJ Styles shirt that I got on Raw thanks to Jack. I was a few dollars short, and he's like, how about you want? I'm like, kinda bad. He's like, fine. We all ended up getting AJ Styles shirts. He got this one, I got this one, Noah got this one, all this stuff. And look at what happened on that night on Raw. Cesaro returned, and my boy Styles, my boy AJ Styles. By the way, Jack got me these AJ Styles gloves for my birthday. Thank you. He got me the Styles gloves for my birthday because he was here for my birthday, and yeah, AJ Styles became #1 contender on Raw. We took the train home. We didn't go to sleep, and then we had to wake up at 5 in the morning because Noah's plane left, and then Jack left a few days later, and I wish the adventure went and still to this day. But it's not over. It's not over. Well, there's another journey starting. The birthday journey starting beginning July 13th. And with this is the announcement, guys. July 13th is the beginning of the second year of Cody and JH Films. BBB 717 and JH Films collide year 2, beginning day 1. This happened a bit last year. This happened at Mania, and it's happening again. So that is gonna do it, guys, for these stories. It's gonna be a long ass video. Editing is gonna be a pain in the ass, and saving it probably will be a pain in the ass. But you know what? It's worth it because I feel like I could actually share stories. I mean, I've been here long enough. I've been here 6 years, almost 7 years, like 6.5 years. 6.5 years, reaching to 7 pretty soon. Well, not pretty soon, like, forgetting what's down the road, but you know what I mean. I feel like I've been here long enough to share these kind of stories. What story do you want to hear next? Do you want to hear an embarrassing story? Any specific kind of thing you want to ask me that can lead into a story? Anything of the sorts? Any school journeys? Any drama-related stories? Actually, I know which one I'm doing next. You'll just have to wait and see. Thank you guys for watching. This has been another story with Cody Brainerd, and I will see you guys in the next video. Peace out.